Hello, I'm Kats, and welcome to today's video. So once again, the portal is alight with the lovely purple hue, meaning it's once again time to pull some shards, specifically void shards in this case. But as always, we are not pulling without a purpose, so there is an accompanying champion chase, and more importantly, there are some Titan event points locked behind said champion chase. Now, full disclosure, I'm basically done with the Titan event after this champion chase. This is kind of the last thing I need to do. You can see here we're at 1340 on the points, and it's somewhat unavoidable at this point, but I will be overshooting the 1500 a little bit, and that's primarily because we got lucky with the deck of fate. I don't know if it's still there. No, they removed it already. But just from the dungeon diver aspect, I think I ended up with like 4 or 5 flips by the end of the 4 days, and it just so happened that I hit 2 rare nodes along the way. Each of them had 20 Titan event points, so I got an extra 40 that I didn't plan to get at all in terms of points in the Titan event. It wouldn't have mattered in this case because I would have been at 1300, and there's 200 in the champion chases we'll look at, so it literally didn't matter. But nonetheless, that contributes to the overshoot that will be present in terms of going past the 1500, but I'm digressing here. So that is the goal for the day. Unfortunately for me, it is going to cost all the way out to 15 or 5500 points in order to get all 200 of the points to guarantee us. I wish this was like 100, and then honestly I might be more inclined to go for just the minimum milestone and just probably do it with like remnant summons and other such stuff. But 5500 is the goal nonetheless, and honestly I don't really mind all that much because I think I skipped the last 2x voids for some reason or another, and so I haven't pulled voids in a while, and I'm in the mood to see what we can get from some void shards. So 5500 is the goal. As much as I would love to go to 7500, I don't want to rip that many voids. I totally can, full disclosure, but I'd rather not. And so, yeah, we'll come back to that thought a little bit later. Popping over to the portal, let's take a look at the overall shard count in my account at the moment. 600 flat on the ancients, 282 on the voids, which of course we'll be diving into today, 32 on the primals, and then 51 on the sacreds. And so at this point, it's completely arbitrary, and I'll fully acknowledge it, but I kind of like having above 200 voids, even though like the historical guarantees are like 110 tops. I just like having 200. It's a nice round number, and so we're at 282. We have 80 slots, so hopefully within 80 voids we can get to 5500. Voids are notoriously a lot more points than ancients, just because void rares are worth 50 versus being worth 10, and so it's 5 times as much. So you accumulate points a lot faster than you might think from void shards, especially when you're pulling a lot of them. So I'm not really worried about getting to 5500. It's more about how many is it going to take, and hopefully it is within 80, because that's just how much I'd like to spend to stay above 200 at all times. In terms of mercy, let's pop the mercy tracker up on the screen, which will be linked in the description box down below if you'd like a copy of this for yourself to use. But essentially, we are still somewhat fresh off of our last void legendary, which was a duplicate Nekreth the Great, so we're 30 voids towards the next one, I guess. And yeah, up to 80-ish shards. We'll see. There's a decent chance we will probably pass 100 pulls, so there's, the 1 in 100 odds. It is a 2x after all that we could get a void legendary, but I'm not expecting that, but we'll see what happens. You never know. In terms of who we're looking for from these shards, I'm honestly more interested in some duplicate epics, so more whispers for empowerment, although I do want to build a second whisper for usage in specifically just the Shogun's Grove, just because I think it's really fun. She hits harder than a lot of the enemy max HP hitters, at least with with the one single hit, and so I'd rather build the double whisper comp than build a super newt Marius boring composition. In my opinion, it's boring. But I digress. But yeah, more copies of Whisper would be good. More copies of Inquisitor Shamail. I still only have the one that I have, so I'd like to empower him to at least +1, +2. And then Basher is another one who I'd like to empower as well. And in terms of the legendaries, if we do happen to get one, my top 3 are Grisor, Iron Gut, Queen of Hearts, and then Sulfurion. So those are the top 3 in case we happen to get a Void Legendary. So without further ado, let's dive into the shard pulls. Hopefully we have the perfect amount of space. We have a decent amount of cash, and honestly, yeah, average luck. I'm not looking for anything crazy here. Mostly the epics for the empowerment and the double whisper shenanigans that could come in the future. In terms of the champion chase, we are basically starting at 0, so the goal is 5,500. So we definitely want to see 1 to 2 epics per 10 pop, which would equate to a decent amount of points. I think 1,000-ish is if you get 2 epics. Well, hey, I'll definitely take 3. 1,400 is a great, excellent start. 3 Shield Knot, honorable mention there for the Sylvan Watchers faction. He's like the best reviver if you don't have Elva, which is kind of crazy to say a rare. But I'll also take the Broadmaw rare. So Bloodhorn is going towards another copy of Broadmaw, who will be helpful in some future champion chase. But Exemplar, pretty trash. Umbral Enchantress is already fully empowered on my account, but unless she's like the goat, one of the goats for hard mode faction wars, just the double turn provoke is very, very useful. And the Gall Long Brain's another empowerment for her, so we'll take it. Really strong single target nuker, and she's definitely helped out in a couple of stages in Faction Wars hard mode as well. She's great for the extra turns requirement or trial, shall we say, in the Dwarves faction specifically. So 1400 is where we are. We still have 4,000 points to go. We definitely don't want to see 10 rares, but that is going to be the case. Unfortunate 500 points, not much to say there. So 1900 in the champion chase. So I guess we got spoiled by the first one. Hopefully we can get, again, 2 epics per 10 pop is basically what we're looking for. So there you go. I'll take 3. I'll definitely take 3. Ooh, Yuzon the Marooned. I actually don't know what he does. So we got 4 epics so far. Excellent. This is great for the points. Another copy of Truce or Not. 5 epics. Hey, we'll take that even more. 2,000 points. So that puts us at 4,000 points. So these are great epic rates overall across the 3 10 pops. So Lua, she hits okay. She has a triple hitter AoE, but I've never really used her. Ursula the Mourner, probably the most accessible reviver for the Bannerlords faction, and so this is going to be a double empowerment for her. She might be fully empowered after this, and honestly. And then Baradal, really, really trash epic, but Yuzon, I don't actually know what he does. I know he was a previous fusion epic, and he has a single target cleanse, or is it AoE cleanse, but it's a 1 ability, places block debuffs for 2 turns. That could be useful, honestly, depending on what you need to protect your team from. AoE attack, he can buff strip. That also could be useful. And then transfers a debuff from him to the target. So maybe he might be useful in Faction Wars. Whenever the champion heals themselves, he can heal everyone else by a little bit. Okay, sure. Maybe he'll come in handy. Don't actually know. Never really. I don't remember reading his kit, but I definitely know he's probably part of a fusion from the past. But 4,000 points total in the champion chase. So 1,500 or 1,600 ish to go. So we're on a roll here. We just need to keep it rolling. Probably 3 to 4 more epics, and we're basically done. Strong start there with 1 and 2. We'll take it. 2 epics so far. Can we get a third? Can we get a third epic here? Skrank, really cool. HP burn, AoE champion, Void Affinity, so he's super powerful for, super niche dungeon or super niche challenge tournaments, stuff like that, but he also could be a decent utility in Curse City, Faction Wars. 12th the Maimed, his one purpose on my account is being my enfeeble tank for my Phantom Shogun's team, so I'll empower him so he's a little bit more survivable. Sweet. That is good for me. So 1,100. So the smart thing to do at this point, because we only need basically 1 more epic, would be to not do a 10 pop and just pull singles until we get an epic, but I'm greedy, and I'm lazy, so let's go for one last 10 pop. No matter what, even if we happen to get 10 rares here, we are guaranteed to go past the 5,500, so we've definitely achieved it on this one. Last epic looks like it's going to be a Skimfos the Consumed, so underrated champion in my opinion, but useful for a lot of these challenge tournaments. You probably have seen him. It'll featured a lot in my Demon Spawn only team showcases and whatnot, so he's been useful. Turn meter steal on the A3, AoE decrease attack, as well as a kind of some debuff throwback on the A3 as well. And then Dawn Caller Sabatha. She might be new on my account because, I do every single fusion. So a lot of these fusion epics that are void in particular, they're a lot harder to get. And I just don't pull voids as often. And so I sacrificed a lot of them for the purposes of their fusions. And so I think this is my first copy of her to potentially use. I don't know if I need her, but single target revive with block damage for 2 turns and 100% turn meter could be useful depending on the needs. But whenever she revives someone, she decreases the cooldown of one of her skills. So it could be the revive. You can get back-to-back revives, granted on a cooldown of some sort, I believe, when you ascend her. But increase attack, increase defense, so protecting your team on a 3-2 cooldown, and then she can heal the ally with the lowest HP with her A1. So pretty decent. And yeah, I guess mission accomplished. We did that in 50 voids. So yeah, epic rates were great today. Epic rates were absolutely great today. We get to, we still have some space. And I believe my mental math is correct here that we should be around 6,000-ish points or so in the champion chase. And mission most certainly accomplished. There we got the Titan event points. And at this point, because we got so hot on the epic rates, should we do one more 10 pop and see if we can get to the mythical tome? I do kind of need the mythical tomes. I was expecting to get a lot worse luck, even, like legendaries aside, I was expecting to get a lot more rares and a lot less epics. And so having pulled so few and gotten so many points, I'm kind of down to do at least one more 10 pop. Hopefully we can get a good set of points here. So I guess we would need 2 epics. So we're breaking from what I said at the beginning here, but we are going to try and get that mythical tome just because the rates are hot. So we're going to try and strike while the coals are hot. Hopefully I don't regret this decision. Godseeker Neri, that's great. One of the best epic revivers in the game. That's going to be empowerment for her. We want to see 2 epics, ideally 2 epics. That might do it. Frenzy the Cackler is going to add some more points. AoE Provoke, I've used her in hard mode Faction Wars as well, but also she has a triple hitter HP burn, which can be useful for some damage, and she can activate burns on the A1. Not as good as Ninja by any means, but nonetheless pretty decent. Then Godseeker Neri, I mean, I mentioned her revive, one of the best revives in the game, but also just a big heal here and buff extension. So she's been useful in a lot of areas, Faction Wars as well. Is that enough? I think we were at 6,100. I don't think it is actually enough. I think we're going to be at 7,000 and some change, so we should be a little bit short. So I want to say 7,300, give or take. Let's see if it's updated. 7,200, close. So in this case, I do think I am actually going to pull singles just because we're already above and beyond where we need to go. So we need 250 points. So worst case, 5 voids. Ideally, we just get an epic and we can wrap it up right here. No, so 4 more to go. And again, first epic or 5 rares will do it, give or take. Let's see if we can make it happen. Another rare, unfortunately, 3 more to go. The Eviscerator. I feel like I've seen videos on her doing some crazy stuff, but I haven't really heard much about her in recent days. So another rare, 2 more voids maximum, I believe. Unless, was it 7,230? So maybe it's 6. Maybe it's 6 voids. So two more, I believe. We're getting a bunch of rares here. 1 more rare. Reliquary Tender, really one of the best rare revivers in the games. This should be the last one no matter what. So another 50 points. There we go. Okay. So maybe should have just done it with the 10 pop. That's exactly why I do these in 10 pops, because I'm, like I said, I'm lazy. But yeah, that should have done it. That should bring it, or should have brought us to the mythical tome. So we went above and beyond the original intent of the scope of the video, but nonetheless, we achieved it. 7,500 points. And we get ourselves a mythical tome. So we get a 4th place as well so far in the tournament. I doubt that's going to stick. There's still a day and a half to go, but maybe we'll place in the top, get some gems out of it. Maybe if these guys go a little bit harder, get some gems out of this. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, Eternal Soulstones to me, they're not that enticing. They're good, obviously, if you happen to get something good from them, but they could also be really bad because you get some useless 5-star epic out of it, but I digress. So yeah, there you go. Lots of epics for empowerment. I don't think we got anyone that I was particularly looking for, unfortunately. So no Whispers, no Shemales, no Bashers, but nonetheless, lots of empowerment. Ursula the Mourner, I believe that's probably a +4 for her if she's not already. Let's see if I can find her. Yep, that is +4 for Ursula the Mourner. So she's going to be the tankiest she could possibly be. Godseeker Neri, that's empowerment. Tolf, that's empowerment. Frenzy is empowerment. Skimthos is empowerment. Gaul is empowerment. So yeah, lots to show there. Not a bad set overall, I think. And of course, not pulling a legendary means that we are slowly but surely building up towards our next Mercy session, where potentially we could chase Grezur Irongut in a 10x or 15x or something like that. So that is also enticing. So I'm not always like attached to the idea that, you know, I want to get as many Void legendaries possible during 2x's, because I kind of like the targeting specific ones during progressive chances, just because at this point, with how many Voids are in the pool, I think it's like a 1 in 5 chance that you're going to hit it, maybe closer to 1 in 6 in this day and age. So the odds are a lot better if you go for a progressive chance versus just risking on a 2x. So I prefer to get to Mercy, but in order to get to Mercy, you have to pull shards. So you're always risking getting something along the way, but I digress. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are pulling for 2x Voids as well. Hopefully you guys got something great. Got yourself a brand new Void Legendary that I did not get. Or maybe you're just excited to get some cool empowerment like I am for my session. As always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel. And feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well if you are enjoying the content overall on this channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.